joining us now, one of our favorite people on the planet and one of the best players to ever play football in the NFL, not only just here in the state of Utah. It's Eric Weddle, kind enough to join us. Eric, how are you?
Hello, Mr. Weddle.
What's up, my guys? Happy holidays. Happy New Year. 2026 is going to be the best one yet for all of us, especially for our alma maters.
Yes, let's go. I love the energy. How good was it to see Morgan Scalley dominate the Vegas Bowl?
Oh my gosh. To be there in person and to be able to, go the day before and be able to see the players and the coaches and, change is inevitable and change is good if you're willing to accept it and to be all in. And there's so many different instances why change happens, and it was good for just to tell everyone I love them and to what a great job, man. 11 wins is something to be really proud of, especially for our university and our history. And then to be able to get some one-on-one time with Morgs and pick him up, he was, he wears his emotions on his sleeve like everyone knows, and he is so passionate and loves our university. And it was great for me to just sit one-on-one with him for a good 30, 40 minutes and just listen and be there for him and bounce some ideas and opinions off of him and let him know I love him and I'm here for him no matter what. And there are a lot of people that have his back, and we just got to support him and be there for him.
And that's the thing that I'm just so fired up for is to see him, because we've known him for 20 years. You've known him for a lot longer, but as a teammate. But I've covered him as a player and as a coach for so many years at the University of Utah. And to see him roaming the sidelines, it was just, it was just cool as hell. I'm just not going to lie. It was really fun to see him with the headset doing his thing and getting that moment on a big stage and being able to showcase what he can do and to see the team respond to him, because you were part of that 04 team where, Urban leaves and you still have a bowl game to play and you put it on Pitt. And so you know what it's like to have some distractions, but also know what it's like to dial in and still take care of business.
Exactly. It just shows the culture and the importance and identity of what we're about. And it's even more so with the landscape of college football right now to hold strong on our values and our principles and who we are, right? Who we are as men, who we are as leaders. And literally there's no better man to lead our program for the next 20 plus years. I'm serious. I think it's going to be Pittsburgh Steelers 2.0 for the Utes. And I know I'm brash and I only hope for that for our university, because that's the great leadership we've had over the course of 40 plus years with, Coach Meyer had a 2-year stint, but Coach McBride, Coach Witt, and now Morgan. It's awesome for the stability of our university and to have a moment like this that he could share with the players, the seniors, the people that, to navigate this transition, to have his little moment. And now, he's got a lot of work to do, but no better man to navigate this and to continue the success of our university.
Eric, I love having you on in this moment because, Morgan has got a lot of work in front of him with some of these hires. And you had an opportunity to see Kyle Whittingham take that program from Urban Meyer. And Scotty and I were just talking about it. It was basically Kyle Whittingham and Gary Anderson, and that was it. And Kyle Whittingham had to start his legacy in that moment. Talk about kind of some of the strategic moves that Kyle made with the hiring and what you remember was impactful to really kick things off and send this Utah program into the stratosphere.
Well, honestly, it's a blessing in disguise, right? Like, as a coach, and I know I'm just a high school coach, a head high school coach, and I just know when you're taking a program over, you're first, it's much different in the, college with the retention of players and the portal and all this other crap that you got to deal with that just is unnecessary with the timeline. If they could just change the timeline of it all, it would relieve a lot of obstacles that present itself. But you have your chance to do and mold your program with the identity and vision of what you want to do, right? And Yeah, did we expect the turnover with Coach Witt going to Michigan? Like, it's crazy to think, like, if Coach Witt didn't come out of retirement after a day, Morgan would have a whole staff, none of these issues. But this is where we're at, right? And so the whole offensive staff leaves outside of Mark, and I love Mark for staying put. And, man, he's going to go a long ways in Utah lure of sticking with us. And then, you know, a big loss, obviously, with Lewis Powell. I mean, I think out of everyone, that's going to be the hardest guy to replace. I know him, obviously, personally. He was a teammate, and the job he's done on the field and probably more off the impact he has on players and our university. So that's going to be a tough one. But at the end of the day, like, how are you going to fault someone for making a decision that what he feels best for him and his family? Like, I understand it probably better than most of just living that life for 14 years of the turnover, the cuts, the trades, the contract extensions, the free agency, the coaches getting fired year in and year out or moving. That is the way of the land, and it stinks. But what holds true is where your allegiance lies, and it's not with any player or coach. Unfortunately, the days of a player staying for 4 years and loving that player are long gone. So it's the university, and you stick by the university, whether it's Coach Meyer, Coach McBride, Coach Fossil back in the day, Coach Witt, or now Morgan, right? Like, you support the program, you give it all to the program, and you just hope that the product is something to be proud of. And I can promise you that the players that will walk out on the field in 2026 will be something to be proud of, because we need to get back to players that want to be a part of our university, that will appreciate what the university can give them, right? The culture, the buy-in, what Coach Morgan and those guys are going to be emphasizing day in and day out of being great men on and off the field, right? Future leaders, future husbands and fathers. Like, that is what those programs are, what I want my son to be a part of, right? And it's not the guys that are money hungry or looking for the next best opportunity. Like, good for them, right? Good for them. If you want to go in the portal and see if you can get more out there, then good, right? But we're not gonna beg people to stay at our university. We're not gonna overpay guys because they got other universities that are offering more money. Then if that's the case and you don't appreciate what this school can give you, then good luck, right? Because we're going to be fine. The University of Utah is an amazing school with amazing support, and those who want to be a part of it, let's ride.
Love it.
You look at that staff that Kyle Whittingham's building in Michigan with Jay Hill as DC and Jason Beck as OC. That's a heck of a staff he's got brewing there in Ann Arbor.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they're national champs here within a season or two. You know, you're getting great men, great character, and obviously incredible coaches that I mean, what Coach Beck's done in the last 2 years, it speaks for itself. And then Jay, I think, is one of the top 10 defense coordinators in the country. And then you couple that with their recruiting abilities and how personable they are and relationships, and then building a staff on top of that with Coach Witt leading the. You know, I go back just talking outside the box and just talking with people. Like, there's no way Michigan would have hired Coach Witt if Coach Witt didn't have guarantees that he was going to bring who he brought. I mean, that's just the reality of it. And Coach Witt's not a coach anymore in the sense that he is the figurehead. He is managing all these personalities, but he's not calling the defense. He's not calling the offense. Like, in the grand scheme of things, he's very important, but his assistants and the coordinators are the most important people. And he's assembling an incredible staff, and I would tell everyone to watch out.
I love it. What, we've heard a bunch of different names for Utah to replace and replenish the coordinator and offensive line coach and receivers coach. What names? Give us 3 or 4 names that maybe come to mind for O-line coaches or receivers, or is there a chance maybe you ever come back and get this thing done? I mean, there's a lot of great personnel out there, Eric, that I know Morgan's got access to. Yeah,
I mean, that's what I told him, right? Like, in the moment, he's he's struggling. He's such a person that gives his all, especially to his assistants. And I said, Morgan, you're going to have many, many, many coaches that want to be a part of us, right? That know our culture, know who you are, and you're going to have the opportunity to hire who you want to hire, okay? And we got a safeties coach hired who everyone's going to be pumped about. It's not me, okay? But I know who he is. He actually coached me, and he is an unbelievable recruiter, an unbelievable man, and will add value to our program, okay? And we're in the mix with a few offensive coordinators, and he's going to do his due diligence. We're not in a rush, okay? I know the portal's happening, and I know people want to, especially players want to know what we're doing. At the end of the day, like, hey, how about a player stands on his 2 feet and says, listen, I'm committed because my commitment matters and that my name is attached to that, and I don't really care who's my offensive coordinator. I'm going to go out and ball no matter what, right? Like, where are those guys at? I want those guys. I want to go to battle with those guys that are confident in their work ethic, confident in who University of Utah is, and want to be a part of that, right? Like, that's where I get kind of frustrated with these kids and this and that. Like, who's obviously, like, a quarterback going with the coordinator, obviously that matters. But at the end of the day, like, let's be great and not worry about where this and that is. Are you going to go come compete? Are you going to go earn a job? Because you're going to have to do that wherever you go. And adversity is going to hit. And are you going to run from adversity or are you not? So I know some names, offensive line coaches. I know coordinators. I'm not going to be the one to, like, spill the beans because, Morgan trusts me. But he's going to put a great staff together and a great culture and build off the culture that's there. And I'm telling you guys, that our program's going to skyrocket in the years to come because of the man that's leading us. Just like BYU with Kalani, right? Like, I love Jay to death, okay? But people tend to forget that Kalani was one of the best D coordinators and ran that defense, okay? So the culture and the program and the standard is set. Coaches come and go, guys. Like, that's the way it is. As long as the man that's leading the job, leading the men, has the vision, has the culture, you're always going to be in a good place.
Eric Weddle, kind enough to join us right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. When you see, I guess, take us back. When you showed up at Utah and this guy named Morgan Scalley, you're in that same defensive backfield with him. Did you get a feel right away that this guy has a chance to be a coach? Like, this guy feels like a coach, or what was it about Morgan that really jumped out at you when you first met him and started playing with him?
Well, he just has this inept ability to bring others along with him, right? And is he the biggest guy? Is he the fastest, most talented? No, he was never that. But, man, was he the guy that you looked to when tough times were happening and who was going to lead us to victory or who was going to lead us out of a tough moment, right? It was him. And even with all the craziness, the turnover, the head coaches, like, Morgan was the leader of that team. And, he was such a great example to me of how to do things the right way. I came in as an immature freshman who was very selfish and very thought process was, I want to just destroy everybody, right? And he helped me understand that it's bigger than oneself. It's about the team. It's about relationships. It's about buying into the culture and who we are. And we're fortunate enough that he's the leader of our program. And I can't express that enough to the fans and people that support our program, that this guy was meant and built and groomed and born to be the head coach of the University of Utah. He does not have any ties to anywhere else, right? Like, there is no – and I respect and have a lot of love for BYU, but he has no connection to BYU like some other coaches, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is Utah through and through. Like, that is his only focus, that is his only desire, that is only his only love when you think about it. And why wouldn't you be ecstatic about that person leading our program? Like, we're going to be just fine.
you can't help but think that Dave Revel thinks he was the leader of that crew. I think that Dave
you're 100% right, and I think Dave still thinks that he should be playing in the NFL right now as we speak, as a 45-year-old. But somehow, some way, it didn't happen, and it's everyone else's fault, not his.
I got to tell you, I just did some radio with Dave. I don't know, I guess it'd be about a month or two ago. I was out at his son's football game, and he was like, "Hey, will you jump on and do this radio thing with me?" And I said, "Absolutely." I jump on and do a little bit of radio with Dave, and I'm telling you, man, that dude is one of the absolute all-time great Utes, man. And
yeah.
he made me laugh so hard. And his son is killing it. His son's a guard. He's playing a guard, and his son's big. And I'm like, where's this coming from, Dave? But he's all proud of his boy, and Dave's still doing well, man.
Yeah, he's, when that whole COVID craziness happened, we moved to Utah for 6 months, and my son actually played with his son, and he was the coach on that Pop Warner team. I think it was 11U or 10U, whatever it was, when we came up there. And it was awesome just to connect with him. And now he's a defense coordinator at Bingham and doing an awesome job up there. So it's cool to see old alums and old teammates trying to give back and do big things out there.
So when you look at that Utah performance, what jumped out at you when you saw them just take Georgia Tech? It almost looked like Georgia Tech back in the day when you were locking down Calvin Johnson in that bowl game in San Francisco. But to see what Utah did and how well they played and the overall performance with Utah and Nebraska and just being able to play at that kind of level, just kind of, talk a little bit about how impressed you were with taking a blue blood like Nebraska and taking them behind the woodshed and just letting them have it.
Yeah, it was nice to see. Nebraska started out fast and had a couple good run plays, and I'm sure everyone was like, "Oh no,
Yep.
I thought we had fixed this," and we had all this bowl prep to work on our run defense, and we shored that up real quick. And Lander said it best. The players know what's going on, and it usually comes back to technique and fundamentals and how to fit certain things up and who's in their gap, who's not in their gap, and in most cases, guys or coaches or players that have played, they know right away who messed up when you're watching it. So it was nice to see. I loved the shots that we were taking offensively, throwing the ball. It looked like a freer offense, going up and down the field. And it was really an amazing team effort to put a stamp on an incredible season, right? Like, yeah, it was unfortunate we didn't make the playoff, but man, 11 wins is big time, and we all should be proud of that. And the coaches that have moved on had a hand in that, so we should always be grateful and thankful for the effort and the job that those guys did of bringing Utah back. Like 2 years ago was a rough year, and so to bring us back and have an amazing season is something to be proud of.
Well, Mr. Weddle, speaking of being grateful and thankful, we're grateful and thankful you join us, and we are excited because I believe you'll be turning 29 soon.
Yes.
Wow, you guys are awesome. If I was turning 29, I'd be still playing on Sundays and doing some great things. But
do you miss it?
I'm actually turning 41, and the days of the 30s are long gone, and I haven't hit my prime yet, so everyone just needs to watch out. E-Dub is coming through wherever you see me. Great things are going to happen.
I love it.
You and Phillip Rivers were in the same draft classes.
Oh, my gosh, Phillip.
Oh, how cool was that?
Yeah, that was – I just wish he, to come back and go in a situation you're playing four of the best defenses in the league, you're Final Four games and try to will that team to a win. I wish they would have won and try to make it more compelling, but it just shows how powerful the mind is, and when opportunities come, to take them, right? Like, you never know what's going to happen as long as you just go for it, and great things could happen. He got to be a little kid again, playing this great game when for 5 years it was done, right? Yeah. And be able to go out there and execute and process, it just shows – the level that a mind can take you as a football player by processing, pre-snap, post-snap. Yeah, his arm was a little dead and he couldn't throw past 30 yards, but be able to go in there and run an offense and really on the verge of winning 2 games and should have is just remarkable. And for all those quarterbacks out there, the way you win championships is with your arm and your mind, not with your legs. Only at times. You got to win from the pocket and get the ball out on time and kill the defense when you know what's coming. That's who wins. And it's exciting to see the game evolve. But you win the games in the trenches, how you block, how you tackle, and have great quarterback play.
It seemed like, it kind of cracked me up a little bit because in those post-game interviews, you could tell he wanted to be upset that they lost, but he couldn't help but smile because you could tell he was having fun out there.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I mean, you get an opportunity to go back and play. Like, who wouldn't do that, right? And you're just in the moment. You're like grateful because it brings back so many emotions and memories of the game that you miss. Like nothing, you can never replicate the bond that you have with teammates playing the game of football, right? The ins and outs, the weekend, the day-to-day, the preparation, the film, the studying, the game planning, the working out, the rehab, the hot tub, the cold tub, the sauna sessions. Like it's just a very unique job. And to be able to relive that is something that us old guys would always take advantage of if you have the chance to.
Well, Eric, I know these won't be surprises to you, but we're excited to watch the hires. We're excited. We're watching the portal. We're excited to see the guys that will come back. I'm hoping J.J. Buchanan stays put. Obviously, Devin Dampierre, Daniel Bray. I talked about Jackson Binney. A lot of guys that I'm hoping stay put. We'll see the staff assemble, and we'll get you back on, and we'll talk about what Utah football looks like for 2026.
You got it, boys. Always appreciate it. Love you.
Back at you.
Love
there
you
he
back,
is.
bud.
Eric Weddle right here on 97.5, the EKSL Sports Zone.